Hey guys, it's Maggie, and today I am filming my top 5 books of 2015. I read a total of 38 books this year, which is 13 more books than I had set for my goal. Like, my goal was 25 books. In June, I hit 25 books, which wasn't something I was really planning on, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll just keep reading, and I didn't change my reading challenge because I just wanted to see what I would end up with. And I've ended up with 38 books. It might be 39 if I read another book before Thursday, or before Friday, but probably not because I'm waiting for winter to come, and that's the next book I want to read, so like, I don't know. So I'm just going to jump right in and show you guys the top 5 books of 2015 that I think, or for me, are the top 5 books. These are in order from like 5 to 1. Apparently, behind me are not in order from 5 to 1. Number 5 on my list is Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare, the 3rd book in the Infernal Devices trilogy. And I didn't mention this before, but these are just books I read in 2015. I don't think any of these were published in 2015. This series was so good. I mean, I could say the Infernal Devices is like my 5th one, but I absolutely love this book, this whole trilogy. I kind of just marathoned it for like the longest time, and I finally got to read it, and it was wonderful. And Will Herondale is basically my fictional boyfriend. Like, he is the one character for me. Like, if you ask me what's your favorite fictional character, I'm probably gonna say Will Herondale, so yeah. Or just maybe Jace too. Herondale boys, I don't know. Number 4 on my list is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This version is huge because it is the annotated one, because we read this for my English class in my senior year of high school. And so basically, it's got the story on this side and a bunch of annotations on this side for like class discussion to talk about annotations, and then we had the actual thing there, and there were pictures sometimes of like what was actually going on in society, and just, yeah, I really loved this edition, and I really loved this book. Like, I fully expected to hate Pride and Prejudice, honestly, because I grew up watching the movie so many times because my family really likes it, and I just wasn't really into it, and I was never into classics, and all my friends liked it, and I just was like not having it. I didn't want anything to do with it, and then we had to read it for school senior year, and I was like dreading it. Literally, when my teacher said we were going to start Pride and Prejudice, I literally like put my head on my desk and was like, why are we doing this? But it turned out to be really good, and it's like my 4th favorite book of the year, and I love it. And now I like really love it, and I watched Elizabeth Bennet Diaries, and I watched Emma Approved, and I'm obsessed now, even though Emma Approved isn't Pride and Prejudice. I'm like obsessed with Jane Austen books now, which means I need to read Northanger Abbey. The 3rd book on my list is The Selection by Kiera Cass. I couldn't decide which one of the books I wanted to use, but I decided Selection is my favorite book out of the series, so I'm going with this. I loved this book. If you watched my July wrap-up video, you probably remember when I said that I read all 4 books in one day. That actually happened. I like just sat and just read like crazy because they're all really small books. It was such a good series. I highly recommend it, and The Crown is coming out in May, and it's already on my Amazon wishlist for pre-order, and I'm excited. Number 2 on my list is a book that came out last year, but I didn't get to it until 2015, and that is City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare. Oh my goodness, I love this book so much, and this series. It's extremely long, like, as we all know. This book was like 700 pages, I think. Oh no, wait. 725 pages this book is. And it took me, I want to say, a week to read it. I'm not sure. It took a long time to get through this book. And I was just thinking, oh my god, what's going to happen the entire time? Because something would happen and be like, there's 500 pages for something to go wrong. There's 300 pages for something to go wrong. And it was just, oh my god. And I read City of Heavenly Fire before Infernal Devices, so this is going to be a spoiler for those that haven't read City of Heavenly Fire, so you might want to mute this part right here. But basically, I didn't know that I didn't know who Tessa was. Like, I knew, but I didn't read the series, so I had no idea. So then I read Infernal Devices, I think, like, shortly after that, and then I was like, oh my god. And then I went back and reread that part of City of Heavenly Fire, and now my whole world is blown. And now I'm excited for Lady Midnight. My favorite book of 2015 this year was a book that I read last week, but I didn't know like what was going to be my top book, and then I read this book and I started this series, and I'm in love, and I think it might be my favorite new series, my favorite series like of all time at the moment. And I'm excluding Harry Potter here because Harry Potter is my ultimate favorite, and nothing will come close to Harry Potter. Like, that's just my heaven right there. So this is like my 2nd favorite series, I guess, maybe, and it is Cinder by Marissa Meyer, the first book in the Lunar Chronicles. So the Lunar Chronicles is like my top series of the year. And I was going to do a whole different video on series, but I just didn't because I was like, time crunch. So I love Cinder. This book, oh my god, I read this book so quickly. And I read Scarlet so quickly, and I finished Crest last night, and Winter is coming in the mail, and I'm going crazy because I really want to read it, and I like want to know what happens in Winter, and I'm so, oh my goodness, and like the way Crest ended was just, oh my god. And so I really love Cinder. Cinder is a dystopian, well not dystopian, it's a sci-fi fantasy, dystopian-ish, I guess, society where it's about fairy tale retelling. So Cinder focuses on the story of Cinderella, and it follows a girl who's a cyborg, basically. She's not really human, and her story to save her world, I guess. And then she meets Scarlet in the second book, who is Red Riding Hood. Then they meet Cress, who is Rapunzel, and then they're going to meet Winter in the last one, which is Snow White, and they all connect together. And it's such a good book. At first I thought it was just gonna be like separate, and I was like, what the heck? How is this all gonna connect? But no. It's beautiful. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment below telling me what your favorite book of 2015 was, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!